ago here at Skip Bachman Stadium, the St. Mary's Rough Riders put together a historic performance. They have to rebound now from a loss to Shawnee as they welcome the Kenton Wildcats into town. It's high school football, and it's yours next on Game Face Ohio. Welcome back into Skip Bachman Stadium here in St. Mary's, where tonight the St. Mary's Rough Riders will host the Kenton Wildcats. I'm Dan Hirn along with Paul Sadler, and we welcome you into the Minster Bank pregame show. The St. Mary's Rough Riders come into this ballgame 1-1 and 0-1 inside the WBL. They are facing off against an 0-2 Kenton Wildcats team that also comes in with one loss inside the conference. And Paul, this is a Kenton team that maybe their overall record is a little deceiving.
Yeah, definitely so, Dan. There's 0-2, but there are two teams where the two-time defending state champion Coldwater Cavaliers in Week 1, and then a heartbreaking loss with 6 seconds left to go against Walpock-Annetta, one of the league favorites. So definitely, Kenton is not your run-of-the-mill 0-2 team.
Mm-hmm. And part of that record, that 0-2 record, might be an adjustment that they're making to some players that they lost in the offseason.
Yes, even though Kenton does have a lot of talent coming back, 7 returning starters on both sides of the ball, they're trying to replace 4 really, really talented players in quarterback Grant Sherman, wide receiver Justin Sawmiller, and then Noah Furbush on linebacker who's playing at Michigan now, and defensive back Matt Barr. Those are really big shoes to fill, but there's still a lot of talent on this offense and defensive side for the Wildcats.
As usual, the Kenton offense centers around their quarterback and their core of wide receivers. Let's talk about one of their talented wide receivers, Paul.
Well, we're going to look at Colin Blackford. Colin is actually second in the Western Buckeye League in receiving yards with 232 and tied for first with 15 receptions. He had 2 touchdowns last week, including a go-ahead touchdown late in the fourth quarter that gave Kenton the lead against Walpock.
For the home team, the St. Mary's Rough Riders, this is only week 3, but so far it's been kind of a roller coaster season.
Definitely, as you mentioned in Week 1, last time they were on this field, they put on a record-breaking performance against Sydney, and then last week with their WBL opener, kind of stubbed their toe against a probably underrated Shawnee team. So, Coach Fry is going to look for a little bit more consistency from his team.
And the player to watch on this St. Mary's defense is one of the defensive linemen. Yeah,
we're going to look at number 13, Keegan Klinger, as our player to watch. He's seen right here getting a sack last week against Shawnee. He also has 3 tackles for losses. He's a leading tackler with 20, and with Kenton's vaunted passing attack, he's going to have to do a tremendous job in putting pressure on Trent Heights.
Mm-hmm. Now it's time to take a look at the Game Face Ohio keys to the game, and we'll start with the visitor team, the Kenton Wildcats keys for Coach Brent Fackler.
Yeah, first of all, they need to take care of the ball. They don't want to turn the ball over. 4 interceptions so far in the year. They want to cut that down on that. Stopping the running attack and protecting their own quarterback are going to be 2 other really big keys for them that we'll watch out for.
2 of those turnovers last week led directly to touchdowns for Walpock, so you're right. And the keys for the home team, the St. Mary's Rough Riders, look like this.
They definitely want to control the clock. They do not want to get in a shootout with Kenton. And to do that, they're going to have to win the line of scrimmage and limit that big play.
Coach Fackler, not a lot of work at the head coach position, but he's been around this game a long time.
Yeah, 29 years as a defensive coordinator on Coach Mock's staff. Gets the first time to be the head coach, and we kind of always like to see guys that really put their time in, get an opportunity, to be a head coach, and credit him. And obviously, he's looking for his first W tonight.
And of course, on the opposite sideline, Coach Doug Fry back here in St. Mary's again, and trying to right the ship now whereas they're saying here in St. Mary's getting back on track now against Kenton tonight.
Yeah, again, they snapped that long losing streak, but they still have that WBL losing streak loom over the heads that's out now at 20 games. So Coach Fry wants to get that taken care of as early as tonight.
Well, that wraps up the Minster Bank pregame show. Stay tuned. We have high school football for you next on Game Face Ohio.
Minster Bank is celebrating 100 years of serving our local communities.
We are proud of our past and we look forward to a promising future.
Thanks for the opportunity to help our local businesses grow.
Thanks for letting us serve you past banking hours.
Thanks for letting us serve you and getting to know you personally.
Through our private wealth management department, we provide trusted investment advice.
Minster Bank's success and longevity is truly a testament to the communities and the customers that we serve.
Thanks for 100.
TSC can save you money.
How?
TSC can save you money with Emerge.
What's Emerge?
The Emerge bundle plan. TSC will merge your phone, cable TV, and internet in one nice, neat package to save you money.
How much money?
A boatload. The Emerge bundle plan, only from TSC.
TSC, give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Welcome to TSC Touchdown Friday, brought to you by Telephone Service Company, Stolly Insurance, Minster Bank, Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom, Finkelmeyer Insurance Agency, Frost Roofing, The United Way, and the Wapakoneta Family YMCA.
Welcome back to St. Mary's. This St. Mary's Rough Riders will start the ball game with the ball. And that gives us a chance, Paul, to talk a little bit about Dustin Howell, who really developed as a quarterback last week.
Yeah, after only attempting 2 passes and not completing any of them the first week, he had a record-setting performance last week, going 15 for 17 for 194 yards, which unofficially is a new record for yards in a game, completion percentage, and tied for completions in a game for the Rough Riders.
So that's another weapon that this St. Mary's Rough Rider team can utilize, and will only make this running attack more formidable. Here's Fitzgerald up the middle of the field, and he's going to bring it up to the 43-yard line before he's knocked off his feet. And we talked about the quarterback for the Rough Riders.
And definitely, Coach Fry wants to run the ball, but he had to get a lot of confidence by that sophomore's performance last week.
He'll bring him to the line of scrimmage. Fitzgerald and Spicer in the backfield behind him. He will keep it himself, rolls out and fires it to Fitzgerald. It'll go off his hands and incomplete. So Howell 0 for 1. As you take a look at the guys that are protecting him.
Yeah, and the offensive line is really going to be challenged this week. Kenton provides an interesting matchup running that tilt 4-3, as we'll talk about in a little bit. So, these guys are going to have to really step it up.
So a 2nd down and 10 coming up after the incompletion as Howell gets the play in from the sideline. Same formation here. Obringer to the right. And again, Howell will keep it. He's got all kinds of pressure. He has tried to get away, but he's brought down back inside the 35 to the 33-yard line.
And that is the big defensive tackle, Jake Hale, who was first-team WBL last year. Big boy, 275 pounds, playing the tilt nose. As we'll kind of see as that game goes on, it's a really tough assignment to block. And there you see some of the skill players for St. Mary's. Isaac Fitzgerald and Eric Spicer are 2 of the leading rushers in the Western Buckeye League.
9-yard loss in the play brings up a 3rd down and 18, and not the place that Coach Fry likes to have his offense on a 3rd down and long. And a handoff up the middle of the field. It'll be Fitzgerald to get back across the 40 to the 41-yard line. And a good defensive stop by Kenton to start this game.
Yes, and Kenton's defense is pretty stout. We'll talk about them next possession, but they have 7 returning starters. And again, they play a tilt 4-3, which looks more like a 6-1 against this wing T offense of the Rough Riders.
So Fitzgerald out to punt it away. The last time the Rough Riders played on this field, they did not punt. And they have to punt it away on their first series. It'll be fielded back inside the 25-yard line. Coming to the near side and stopped after a short gain is the return man, and that's Colin Stoller.
And we'll be calling his name a lot tonight. He along with Blackford are the 2 biggest weapons on offense from the receiver standpoint. Trent Heights, another sophomore, so we've got a pair of sophomore quarterbacks battling it here. Heights comes in 4th in the WBL in passing yards with 355.
He will work out of the shotgun with 3 receivers off to his right. And he has Stoller in the backfield with him on his left hip. He's back to pass. Has time. Now stepping up. And he's leveled at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, we're going to see that a lot. It's kind of interesting. You know, Kenton has gone 5 wide without a running back for many years. So Kenton staying with the no huddle, but they actually will have a running back every once in a while. Offensive line, a lot of experience here. Trent Heights is a second-team WBL player and getting recruited to many colleges, including Kentucky's, Mac schools, Illinois.
Pass out to the right, and Luke Jackson, the receiver. And there.
Skill players, as we mentioned there, Blackford and Stoller are the top 2 players, but Connor Jones and Luke Jackson were also returning starters. So again, 7 returning starters for this Kenton offense, obviously, and very senior dominated. Obviously missing 2 very key components with Saul Miller and Sherman gone from last year.
5 wide on the 3rd down and 9, and the pass lobbed out to the near side. It's caught and out of bounds at the 40-yard line. And it should be enough for the first down.
Yeah, big 3rd down and long conversion right there. And that was our player to watch on the out pattern, Colin Blackford. Tremendous pass right there by Heights. Here's our defensive line. Again, Klinger is our player to watch right here. Playing kind of a hybrid defense with only 3 down linemen against this different type of offense.
Heights getting pressured, and he can't get rid of it. He'll be dropped back at the 30-yard line. Big loss there on first down.
Yeah, and that's Matt Patton, who's coming in and not normally a starter, but going to get a lot of playing time. Another sophomore, a lot of sophomores playing in this game, 6'2", 210 pounds. You know, kind of the knock on Heights so far is, you know, he's not quite learned the escapability that, you know, they've used to have had here in the past.
Second down and 20 now after the sack. Heights gets the pass away. It's caught by Blackford. He's up across the 35, and he's going to be caught in a rugby scrum as he gets to the 40. And the play finally whistled dead as he falls to the 41-yard line. Looks like they're going to spot it at the 40, though.
Yeah, and here's the defensive backs here. These guys are going to be tested, and you're going to see some different lineups with, you know, some nickel formations as well. But Swanson, Mays, and Tester are going to be tested tonight with this attack, aerial attack by Kenton.
Again, 5 wide. Heights to the left side, caught by Blackford. He's hit, but he falls forward up to the 50-yard line, and it looks like he's going to have a first down as he falls across midfield.
Yeah, that was a nice combo pattern right there with the slant on Blackford, his 2nd catch of the game. Remember, he came into the game as one of the leading receivers in the Western Buckeye League. And again, this Kenton offense is fast. Starting off 4 for 4 passing so far.
3 receivers to the right in motion on the far side of the field. It looked like maybe Connor Jones stumbled a little bit or lost his balance, but he moved before the start of the play.
So obviously, you know, no team wants to get penalties. You know, however, Kenton with, you know, the ability to pick yards up in chunks might not affect them as much as other teams.
Mm-hmm. First down and 15 now, ball at their own 45-yard line. And Heights is back again to pass, fires it out to the right side. It's incomplete. Nice catch by the coaching staff over there.
And St. Mary's, I know we went through their normal starters, but obviously they're not in a normal base defense against this 5 wide attack of Kenton. You know, they're going with 3 down linemen, kind of 2 inside backers, 2 outside backers, 2 corners, and then 2 safeties. And it looks like they're going to try to mix up some zone and man.
Heights again out of the shotgun now on a 2nd down and 15. He has some time this time. Fires it down the center of the field, and it's just behind Blackford and incomplete.
And it's a nice play there by Heitkamp. Some double coverage right there, so nice coverage as a team by Heights, as no one was open, but he knew he had to get rid of it, did not want to take a sack on that play.
So another 3rd down and long situation. And 3 receivers to the far side of the field, 2 to the near side left. Heights now takes the snap, looking to the left side of the field, guns it down the left sideline, and he just did overthrow his intended receiver, Colin Stoller.
Yeah, and Austin Tester, kind of got away. He was still in his back pedal when at that point he really should have turned and ran. Lucky for him, Heights kind of misfired on the pass because he was open.
So 4th down and 15, prompts the punting team to come onto the field.
And Kenton does not like to punt. A lot of times if it's, 4th and reasonable, they will go for it a lot. In this case, you still can't even be sure, even though it's 4th and 15.
Well, and it's early, and they're 0-2, so this one is a booming punt, and it will go into the end zone for a touchback.
55-yard punt right there. No return, still a pretty decent net of 35.
So 7:45 remaining here in this first quarter. And Paul, from the first series to the second, anything we can expect to see different out of St. Mary's?
Well, they're going to have to learn how to handle that tilt nose, okay? Kenton's got a lot of experience coming back on the front line. Hale we saw before, but they got 2 other guys that are returning starters that have all WBL honors as well. So, they're going to try to run the ball, but having that tilt nose kind of messes with your rules just a little bit. And there we can see the starter. Silas Smith was an honorable mention player last year. Jack Hale was first team. Austin Phillips was a second team WBL performer last year.
So a short gain on 1st down, make it 4 yards for Fitzgerald. And Howell will bring the play in from this sideline. They rush up to the line of scrimmage. Howell hands it off to Fitzgerald again. He'll plow forward for a couple of yards.
Okay, name we expect to call a lot is middle linebacker, first team WBL performer last year, Tristan Reichelderfer. He leads the Western Buckeye League with 38 tackles. Derek Legg is also a returning starter for the Kenton defense.
And the other reason we'll say his name a lot is because it's fun.
Yes. Twins, the Downing twins were both honorable mention players last year. And Trevor is actually the second leading tackler, the 4th in the Western Buckeye League.
3rd down and 3 here. And they run out to the left side.
Ooh, and
Howell to the 30-yard line. So
yeah, and
close.
Yeah, he's not going to get it. Did not get much of a favorable spot right there. It looked originally that it was going to be spotted for a 1st down, but considering it was a touchback, he has to get to that 30, and they are a full yard short right here. And as much of a gambler as Coach Fry is, this would be a big gamble early in the game inside his own 30-yard line to go for it, but it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do.
Well, Howell comes out there. All indications are that they're going to go for it now with just over 6 minutes to play here in this first quarter.
And he could be looking just to try to draw them off sides with a hard count.
A little bit of a flinch there on the left side of the defensive line. It'll be Spicer to the right side. He's got the 1st down and more across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
And maybe a little bit of a break because it does look like Spicer was a little bit leaning before that's the ball actually snapped right there. No call. And credit the Rough Riders with a big 4th down conversion deep inside their own territory early in this game, and that's got to give them a lot of confidence.
Fitzgerald and Spicer in the backfield behind Howell on a 1st down and 10. And Howell hands it off. I believe it was Obringer that had to carry there off the left side.
Yeah, trying that reverse counter play, and truthfully, one of the bigger things that could happen to blow that play up is penetration, and Kenton was able to get a lot of penetration, threw off the whole play.
And that's something that this defensive line is. They disturbed the Wapakoneta play last week, and looking to do that again here today.
Well, just a lot of size, a lot of experience on that Kenton defense.
It's Howell rolling out, fires it over to Spicer. He's got the 1st down across the 45 to the 47-yard line. And St. Mary's moving the ball now.
And there's a flag on the play. If this play stands, that'd be Spicer's 3rd reception on the year. However, it looks like it's going to be coming back.
Some applause on the defensive line there. So
unfortunately, for the Rough Riders, that penalty is going to negate their best offensive play of the day and going to set them up in 2nd and very long.
They march that one back to the 26-yard line. They'll make it the 27, so 2nd down and 19 now coming up for the Rough Riders.
But that's something that Coach Fry might need to do a little bit. He was able to get some confidence in his young quarterback from last week. But if you look at Kenton from a wide shot here a little bit, they are very much in the box, although they went 2 wide receivers here just to try to get them to widen out just a little bit.
Howell's pass is tipped at the line of scrimmage and falls incomplete on the far side of the field. He was trying to connect with Randy's life.
And it looked like they're going to try to that hitch and pitch or hook and ladder, if you will, that we saw them execute last week against Shawnee. But ball got tipped, timing was thrown off, and it brings up 3rd and long.
So far, our defensive struggle as we are under 5 minutes to play here in this first quarter. And we've seen some good defensive play so far. 3rd down and 19 coming up for the Rough Riders. Howell will hand it off, and Tester is going to be hit in the backfield and stopped for a loss back to the 25.
Yeah, big play there in the backfield. Another one of those big guys, number 76, who, truthfully, I don't see a 76 on their roster.
Yeah,
so,
he's not on there.
But he's a big guy.
Maybe that's what we'll call him. So 4.5 minutes to play here, and for the 2nd time tonight, St. Mary's forced into a punt situation. And some pressure there on the punter Fitzgerald, but he gets it away. It'll hit and take a St. Mary's roll. And it'll be fielded and spotted at the 36-yard line.
Well, so far, the defenses have kind of had their way early in this ball game. It might end up being, what defense can make a play, can create a turnover that can really start to grab some momentum for their team.
Heights has the full complement of receivers out there now. 3 off to his right, 2 to the near side left. And they look to the sideline for the play.
Again, you see just the 3 down linemen, a couple of backers that look like they can blitz or drop into coverage for the Rough Riders.
Receiver to the near side, up across the 40 to the 45-yard line. And Paul, this offense can pick you apart with those short passes in the flats.
Yeah, they really like the short passing game. You'll see the bubble screens, you'll see the slip screen, jailbreak screen, if you will. They kind of use those in lieu of running plays.
9 yards on that completion, so a 2nd down and 1 coming up here. Heights with time again, fires it over the middle, and it's caught. Up across the 45 and down to the St. Mary's 42-yard line on the receiving end was Staller.
Yeah, Staller him and Blackford again are going to be their 2 main playmakers. He did a really nice job just kind of settling in a dead spot in the zone in the hook to curl area. And that's something that they really work on in Kenton, is identifying when teams are in zone and just settling down in that zone. You're usually taught in a man-to-man, you continue to run, and if it's a zone, you find that soft spot and you hold your position.
Well, 12-yard completion there, and now some equipment problems on the near side as Staller can't get his chin strap back on. They're going to ask him to exit the game for a play.
Yep, and we'll use this opportunity to talk to Staller. Is kind of going to be kind of a playmaker, as he's not very happy coming off the field. Sometimes they'll go Wildcat, put him in at the quarterback, and when he's going to be primarily a runner when he's in there.
Deerdorf comes in to replace him on the near side, so he's the slot man. Heights fires left side. That one a little bit too tall for Blackford and incomplete. Tester there on the coverage.
And Blackford is 6 foot tall, but he wasn't tall enough to be able to go get that one.
Right. Staller back onto the field now after the equipment problem fixed. Heights with some pressure lobs it out to the right side, and it's off the hands of his intended receiver on the far side. And I believe that was Connor Jones over there.
And defensive coordinator Nick Yale really kind of mixing things up. I was kind of watching this near side, and he had kind of bump and run coverage, back, remnants of the old Frank Minifield, Hanford Dixon days, you know, with the bump and run coverage here. You can see it here on the near side right here, and on the far side, they're a little bit further off and looks like they're in more of a zone look.
Heights with all kinds of time. Escapes to the far side of the field. He's across the 40, and he'll slide down to the 36-yard line. I'm not sure he intended to slide right there, but that's where he goes down.
Well, this brings up a 4th down, and we kind of mentioned, you know, height. That's something he just needs to work on. He's a pretty good athlete, and he's got good speed, you know, and he's just still kind of learning the game to figure out, you know, when to take off, and that time he made the correct decision to bring up a 4th and manageable.
4th and 5 for Heights, and he lobs it left side. It's caught by Staller, who makes a move at the 30, and a flag comes in as the defense got a hold of the face mask there as he goes down to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, no doubt call right there on the Rough Riders with the face mask. But before that, you know, what tremendous moves. First of all, on a 4th and 5 to be able to get open off an initial slip on his cut. But, you know, a couple, you know, stop moves, hesitation moves to be able to pick up that 1st down and get really good yardage. And you're going to tack in. Here you see making 2 guys miss. You know, the face mask, you're not going to let them get away when that happens, but it is definitely going to cost you, you know, 15 yards. And, you know, Coach Fry is going to have kind of a talk with them to try to make sure that they clean up some of these penalties.
Penalties costing the Rough Riders here early on, and now Kenton threatening to score. Heights on the draw will go to the right side. Not much there. He'll get down to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, called draw all the way right there. Heitkamp totally unblocked. Definitely has to come up and make that open field tackle. Was able to do so.
Under 3 minutes to play here in the first quarter, and a 2nd down and 10 coming up. Excuse me, 2nd down and 7 coming up for the Wildcats. Three to the right, 2 to the left for the 8th play of this drive. Heights with time. Looks left side, fires into the back corner of the end zone. And no indication, looks like he was out of bounds.
Now, almost a tremendous catch right there. He almost one-handed that to be able to get. I didn't even quite see who that was.
It's Blackford.
It's Blackford. Nice effort. But he really had Staller wide open there on the slant. It would have been a touchdown. That was almost an incredible touchdown. Obviously did not come down with the ball at all. But, you know, the easier one would have been on that combination route. They ran the corner, and then they also had the slant. The slant was the one that was open.
Great look at that play from our end zone camera. Heights with time. Now gets some pressure, and he's going to go down for a loss of 3.
Exact same play right there, and exact same thing. Blackford, in this case running the slant, was wide open, just stood there waiting for the football, and Heights just must not have seen him, but he was wide open. He would have walked in for a touchdown.
So now a 4th and 9. 2:02 left, first quarter.
And this could be a big stand here for the Rough Riders if they can hold the Wildcats here.
Heights takes the snap, looking left, firing left, and in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, Staller, in the end zone, and a turnover on downs for the Wildcats.
Well, they did finally throw to that slant, and it was open, but they were unable to come down with it. So, you know, the Rough Riders do get the stop. They don't get great field position, but they do hold the Wildcats scoreless.
Big stop there by the defense after that penalty.
And you can see he was open in the end zone, and he just couldn't quite come up with it. So Blackford, you know, has pretty good hands. We would expect him to make that play, you know, next time he has the opportunity, but not that time.
Spicer will take the handoff on 1st down. He bounces off one man and pushes forward to about the 16-yard line after that run. And Paul, that run there by Spicer kind of shows what we picked up on last week in that game against Shawnee, is that this kid can take a hit and keep moving forward.
Yeah, he can, but he's also, you know, their big play potential player, and, you know, Coach Fry would really like to see him be able to break one and use some of those breakaway speed that he does have.
Closing in on a minute to play here in the first quarter.
So, again, only a 4-yard gain, but truthfully, you know, Coach Fry will take that. If he gets consistent 4-yard gains and you keep that defense on the field, you know, he would be happy with that.
Obringer with the carry off the left side, gets spun around and goes down near the 20-yard line. And that'll leave him just about a yard short of a 1st down. Now, I didn't do well in math in high school, Paul, but if you get 4 yards on the first 3 plays of each series, you can continue to get first downs.
You definitely can, and that's really what Coach Fry would love to be able to do against this Wildcat defense, is just wear them down, and maybe selectively, throw a play action here and there. But truthfully, what he really wants to do is get it done on the ground.
Just 20 seconds left first quarter. Off left side, that's Fitzgerald. It's a 25-yard line and a first down.
Yeah, and that's something that we haven't seen a whole lot of, is the Rough Riders really kind of getting through that first contact. But Fitzgerald's a pretty hard-nosed runner. He was able to get through that initial push to just get enough to move the chains for the first down for St. Mary's.
So now the final seconds ticking off here in the first quarter, and we've played to zeros after 1 quarter of play. You are watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
Where is that TSC bill? How can I pay it if I can't find it?
You don't need the bill. You can pay it online at telcirco.com.
Wasn't there a special this month?
Yes, we got it from TSC's Facebook page.
I know I've got the announcement for the club here somewhere.
I just sent it to TSC to air on Channel 2. With telcirco.com, Facebook, Channel 2, and their newsletter, TSC makes it easy to stay connected.
Now, if they could just help me clean up my desk.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Back here for the start of the second quarter in St. Mary's, and the defense is dictating things so far. Rough Riders with the ball now, and it'll be Spicer to go off the right side. Stumbles as he gets to the corner and falls forward for about a 5-yard gain up to the 30-yard line.
And he definitely lunged ahead a little bit. Coming into this game, the Rough Riders do boast the #1 offense in the Western Buckeye League in both yards and points. Now, it's pretty early in the season, and that first game kind of skews that a little bit. Mm-hmm. Kenton, on the other hand, is currently last in scoring and in total offense. Only averaging 173 yards and only 8 points a game. Again, however, we kind of point to their competition that they've played in the first 2 weeks.
Handoff up the middle of the field. It'll be Fitzgerald across the 35 to the 38-yard line. And a nice pickup there on first down for a first down.
So that's the second first down this possession, only the third of the game for the Rough Riders. And they're starting to kind of get it going here on the ground, which is what Coach Fry definitely wants.
Mm-hmm.
So we get a chance to see, a chance that this defensive line, again, technically it's called a 4-3, but most of the time those outside linebackers against this look are going to come up and make it look almost like a 6-1 look, which is very unusual. And because of that, Kenton middle linebackers traditionally are one of the highest leading tacklers in the Western Buckeye League because, he's kind of all by himself to be able to make that play and just everyone's covered in front of him, and he can just read where the ball is and go get the ball. So that's a big reason why Reichelderfer is one of the better tacklers in the Western Buckeye League.
Howell under center, and the handoff goes to Fitzgerald straight up the middle again across the 40 to the 44-yard line, and a nice gain on first down of about 6.
And the Rough Riders were not getting these kind of plays in the first 2 possessions of the game. They were getting a lot of penetration, and this time they're getting some movement and a lot of positive plays. That's a great 7-yard gain there on first down to set up 2nd and 3 for the Rough Riders. So, credit the adjustments on the offensive line.
Spicer and Fitzgerald again behind Howell, and this time it'll be Spicer off the right side, get some contact at the line of scrimmage. And it looks like they're going to give him forward progress to the 46-yard line.
Yeah, it looks to be just a yard short to set up a 3rd and 1. It's kind of watching, because early on you had both Tillman and Hale from the defensive tackle spots, from the tilt, really penetrating. And, that last possession at least, the center, Dane Chisholm, will cut block, because you're allowed to cut block in high school off the ball. In the line of scrimmage, in the box, off the snap.
3rd down and 2 here. And it looks like Howell kept it himself.
Yeah,
first down for the Riders.
Yeah, that's traditional with Coach Fry. A lot of times, if it's a short yardage play, sometimes he doesn't even want to take time and going backwards with the handoff. Just take the person that's got the ball that close anyway and kind of mush forward, and most of the time it's pretty successful.
So 1st down and 10 for the Rough Riders at the 48-yard line on their own side of the field. And the 9th play of the drive coming up here. And this is the kind of drive that Coach Fry loves. Long, a lot of plays, taking a lot of time off the clock. Handoff goes right up the middle with Fitzgerald, and they will crack the midfield stripe into Kenton territory to the 49-yard line.
And nice job there by left guard Tristan Becker, only 180-pound senior. Still was getting a lot of movement even though he was going against a much bigger man.
So 2nd down coming up now. And Howell bringing the play in from the sideline. Time moving under 9 minutes to play here. 2nd quarter. Howell will keep it. He takes it around the corner. And he gets hit and dropped as he gets to the 45-yard line.
And Howell did a nice job. He was just missed there by Travis Downing. He could have made the play for a loss, but instead he's able to sneak off the left-hand side to set up a 3rd and about 3, which, given where they are in Kenton territory, more than likely Coach Fry is going to look at this as 2 opportunities to pick up the 1st down.
3rd down and 3 coming up. As the Riders bring on
Michael Highstrider comes in with the play.
Fitzgerald and Obringer in the backfield. And it'll be Fitzgerald again. He gets down inside the 45 to about the 43-yard line. So they'll be short of the 1st down. And a 4th down coming up here.
Well, Coach Fry went for it on 4th down earlier in the game, but that was inside his own 30. This time in Kenton territory, this is a foregone conclusion as the Kenton crowd comes to their feet to try to inspire their defense to come up with this 4th and a short 2 stop.
Hal bringing the play in from the sideline as he has all game long. He's under center. Fakes the handoff. He keeps it himself and brings it to the near side. He's going to dive forward, but he's going to be short of the 1st down, and Kenton really had that one sniffed out.
They did, and Seth Kuhlman bit just a little bit, but not enough to where he was able to make the play. Coach Fry rolling the dice, going with the naked bootleg, but Kenton was able to maintain their keys and stayed there and made the big 4th down stop. So again, defense is making plays. 2 consecutive stops by the defense on 4th down.
Kenton will get the ball back, and it's a screen to the left side. It is Blackford, and he has space down inside St. Mary's territory to the 39-yard line.
Yeah, that's Blackford's 5th catch this game already, and we kind of mentioned how he was a player to watch. And, if Kenton wants to get on the scoreboard, so far they've only scored 2 touchdowns this year, and he owns both of them.
Right.
And we're going to see a lot of screens, as we mentioned before, bubble screens, as quick pass screens, middle screens.
18 yards on that last completion as they take care of an equipment issue over on the far side of the field. They lob it over here to the near side, and it's caught down the near sideline across the 30, and finally wrestled out of bounds after a nice run is Connor Jones.
Yeah, Connor Jones did a nice job there, but give credit to his teammate wide receiver Luke Jackson, had a tremendous kick out block that really sprung him for the big yardage.
They'll go with 3 receivers to the left and 2 to the near side. 14 yards on that last completion, and Heights back to the line of out of the shotgun again. getting some pressure, rolls out to the left, fires it over the center of the field where it's caught. And 15-yard line.
Luke
After
Jackson.
making that catch was Luke Jackson.
Yeah, and I tell you what, the Rough Riders need to be concerned with is Trent Heights had a lot of time back there. You know, they need to be able to get some more pressure on him. We talked about that as one of the keys of the game, you know, when we were featuring Keegan Klinger, but it's not just him. You know, even if they're only bringing 3 players, you know, Heights cannot be comfortable back there. Otherwise, they just got too many weapons at receiver. Again, as we mentioned, you know, 4 of those guys were starters last year.
Mm-hmm. After an 11-yard completion there, Heights back to work, fires it left side. He's caught and completed inside the 10-yard line, down to about the 8. That was Stoller on that one.
A good combination. They like to have Blackford and Stoller on the same side, and they do a good job running some combo patterns. That time Stoller was running the out, and Blackford was running in the go pattern, which just kind of cleared his man out.
2nd down and 5 coming up. Ball at the 9-yard line. Heights lobs it left side. It's caught. It's Blackford, and he is decked as he gets to the 2-yard line. That ball may have come out.
Well, the referee coming in, I think, is saying that he was down. Even if the ball did come out, you know, I'm not sure they're calling that.
Well, it looks like they stopped him at the 1-yard line.
Well, we'll see here. Again, you had that slip screen. We'll see if the ball comes out here. It's not being called a fumble. Yeah, he was definitely down. So even if the ball came out. Now, Kenton, in a rarity here, is now going to a heavy package here in the goal line. Mm-hmm. This is not something that they have done in a long, long time.
And you see Stoller lined up behind Heights. He gets the handoff, and he is all stacked up as he took it off the left side. And now a flag comes down at the line of scrimmage. There's a lot of contact down there on the pile.
And we'll see what this penalty is. This could be a really big penalty if it's against Kenton. If it's against St. Mary's, it'll be half a distance. Nope, they're going to call offsetting here. So that's going to be a big old nothing afterwards. Just kind of a, you know, guys, let's kind of cool it down right here. Kenton running another unit out here. Looks like they're probably going to go back to their base offense here now.
Well, Stoller was really outnumbered out there on the left side as he tried to take it into the end zone.
Well, they are marking it off against Kenton. You know, we didn't hear the announcement. Maybe they did just call it against Kenton. I thought that he pointed both ways.
Well, they walked it out.
Wow, I have never seen this rule. Usually it would be an offsetting penalty, but what they did, Dan, was they marched it off the 15-yard penalty, and then they went half the distance, which that's news to me that that's the rule.
I'm not sure that that's a disadvantage for Kenton in this offense.
You're right.
And Kenton back to pass, Heights back to pass. His pass incomplete, intended for Stoller.
And that was
9-yard line.
And that was one of the first times that they actually got pressure on Heights early. Klinger was in there as well as Heitkamp as on the blitz. And, you know, I think they're going to have to kind of do that a little bit more. Here we see the replay. You know, he didn't get very comfortable, and you see Klinger is in there right away, hitting him just as he threw it. Still got off a pretty good pass.
Heights again out of the shotgun. He has pressure, lobs at Blackford, and Blackford tripped up after catching that one. He'll gain a couple of yards on that play, but not what Kenton was looking for.
Well, Chase Roop right there was able to kind of get in his legs. They were expecting the blitz, so they went with the slip screen again. They scored a touchdown on that play last week against Wapak. That sets up a 4th and goal after being 1st and goal at the 1.
Heights with pressure, steps up, still looking, fires it, right side, and it's incomplete.
So the difference in that goal line stance, Dylan Leininger that time coming in and providing the pressure. The Rough Riders finally getting after the quarterback a little bit, and that's really a game changer for them.
And the defense is still controlling this game. No score with 4:43 left in the half.
3 consecutive possessions where we've seen a stop on 4th down, and the last 2 for Kenton being in the red zone.
Well, St. Mary's will take over at their own 8-yard line. And it'll be Spicer off the right side and not much there.
So, you know, the one thing that Kenton is doing is they're definitely dominating the field position. It's really tall order to expect to go 92 yards, against the stout defense of the Kenton Wildcats.
Mm-hmm.
And, Coach Fackler, obviously the longtime defense coordinator, now head coach, really wants to get a 3 and out, and then he really sets his offense back up for a tremendous field position.
Mm-hmm. Howell will be under center. And it'll be Fitzgerald up the middle of the field, up to the 15 to the 16-yard line.
And I tell you what, that was a big time, if not a touchdown saving tackle, a big play saving tackle by Kenton. I think it was Travis Downing with the play on that one. But they ran the trap, was able to get through, both lines directly to the free safety. And if he didn't make the play, Fitzgerald would have been running a long time.
Spicer and Fitzgerald behind Howell under center, and it'll be Fitzgerald again diving forward to about the 17-yard line.
Well, if that's the case,
going to bring up a 4th and 1.
Well, both coaches showing that they really, really don't like to punt. So we'll see what Coach Fry makes a decision here.
Right.
He went for it inside his own 30. Does he go for it here inside, his own
It looks like they're going to
20.
Bring the chains out and measure this one up there. Chains come out from the near side. And they stretch it out, and clearly a first down for the Rough Riders.
And a big first down. A 3 and out would have been devastating because it would be a tough 4th down to try to go for, although I would not put it past Coach Fry to be able to do that. But the Rough Riders get a fresh set of downs right here, keeps the clock moving, and just as importantly, keeps that Kenton offense on the sidelines with this scoreless game.
Howell again under center. And the handoff will go up the middle, not much there.
Now Aaron Tillman, 270-pound junior, really filled that middle, got penetration, and blew up that trap.
So that moves the ball back to the 16-yard line, so a loss on the play. And they're going to call it 2nd down and 11.
The clock's still running, and the Rough Riders not in a big hurry.
Mm-hmm. Do you open it up here a little bit, Paul?
No. Clock is your friend right now. You don't have a really good field position.
Passes out to the near side. Great catch by Fitzgerald, and then a tremendous job just to stay on his feet, and he falls forward across the 25 to the 26-yard line.
What a tremendous athletic catch right there. Not a great pass. It wasn't a very good angle for that pass to get there on the play action. The ball came right basically above his helmet, and Fitzgerald able to one-hand it to be able to make that play and now set up, a 3rd and 2. You can see that replay. What a tremendous catch there by Isaac Fitzgerald.
Mm-hmm. This is a great look at it. Just a fantastic job of concentration, and then to keep his feet.
And that's Fitzgerald's 6th catch on the year.
Howell back to pass, fires it over the middle, and it's caught by the tight end up across the 30 to the 35-yard line. And pulling that in was Quinn Czar.
Yeah, Quinn Czar, a first-team WBL player from last year, had 2 catches last week, including a touchdown towards the end. But that time was a big conversion for the Rough Riders. Now they're out, basically out of jail to their own 35-yard line, and we'll see what Coach Fry decides to do here. Under 2 minutes to go.
1:43 left in the half, and a penalty flag comes down as that run up the middle.
Thank you. So that's going to be a false start by the Rough Riders. So that's going to move them back 5 yards to the 30.
So 1st down and 15 coming up now.
Well, we'll see if Coach Fry, he's got 2 split outs here. We'll see if he is trying to run maybe some trickery here.
Howell fires it deep to the right side, looking for his intended receiver, and he overthrew him just a little bit. He was trying to connect with Logan Mays on the far sideline.
Yeah, he just had him on a go pattern. Kenton had double coverage there with two deep. The cornerback stayed with him, which what that means is if the Rough Riders would run somebody else underneath, there wouldn't be anyone there, in the flats in that case. Although with a minute 24, Coach Fry is looking, if we're going to put it up, let's go deep.
8th play of this drive coming up. And a 2nd down and 15 for the Riders. So we went from 2 wideouts to none. And Howell back to pass. Has some time, fires it out right side where it's caught by Spicer. He's up across the 45 to the 50 and knocked down as he gets into Kenton territory to the 45-yard line.
I tell you what, aggressive play calling by Coach Fry. He has gone to the pass, putting the ball in his sophomore's hands again, running the bootleg. That is the back running the wheel route out of the backfield, hit Spicer in perfect stride, and now they're in business as they're in Wildcat territory.
25 yards on that completion. Howell out of the shotgun for the first time tonight, and he is buried back at the 42-yard line. That ball came out momentarily, Paul, but he was able to get his hands back on it.
Yeah, bounced right back to him. There was just immediate pressure on that, enough to where I thought they were setting up a screen, and then I just didn't see any screen developing after that, and Coach Fry calls timeout.
Timeout here with 58 seconds left in the half, and the Rough Riders trying to put together a score before we break for the locker room. And we'll be back with more. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
For over 100 years, the Stolly Insurance Team has been looking out for you.
We have access to major insurance companies all over the country. But together, we can customize an insurance program that will offer you the best coverage for the best premiums.
Let us look out for you. Give us a call for a personalized proposal today.
Proudly featuring Motorist Insurance, Stolly Insurance in Lima, Walpock, Salina, and Lakeview. Representing Motorist Insurance Group and other fine insurance companies. Stolly Insurance.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
58 seconds left in the half here in St. Mary's. It's been a defensive slugfest so far, but the Rough Riders making their way up to their own 43-yard line after a setback on that last play. And this is a screen to Fitzgerald. He'll find room up to the 49.
Yeah, that time they did run the screen. Fitzgerald, his second catch, a little more conventional reception this time on Fitzgerald. Clock running, as you can see there, so the Rough Riders are back on the ball.
40 seconds remaining, second quarter. Howell rolls out to the right side, lobs it down the right side of the field, and he's looking for Tester, incomplete.
Well, as big of the gambler as Coach Fry on 4th and 16, he is going to trot out the punting unit this time. Howell avoided a little bit of trouble right there, got the pass off and had a little window to get Tester, but was unable to make the play.
Had some help with that Fitzgerald block that really kept that play from blowing up early. 31 seconds left as the Rough Riders will kick it back to Kenton. It will hit and be fielded inside the 15-yard line. And Stoller is going to go down as he gets to the 20, and a flag comes down.
Yeah, they're going to get Hale for probably an attempted block a little bit late.
Well, Kenton's offense is the style of offense that can make
It is, but
one more crack at it.
But the Rough Riders are definitely going to deepen up right here. As you can see, Coach Yale, the defense coordinator for the Rough Riders, really backing his defensive secondary up quite a bit. My concern here is, I mean, you're at your own 10-yard line. You haven't had a whole lot of success all season through 2.5 games. You know, I'd look more for, you know, safe pass from here, but I have been known to be wrong before.
I don't remember that time. Heights avoids the rush and lobs it out. It'll be caught by Blackford, and he'll go out of bounds near the 25-yard line. That will stop the clock with just under 14 seconds left here in the half.
Well, the one thing that has been improvement is Heights has yet to turn the ball over. He had 4 interceptions coming into this game, and this is definitely where, you know, you want ball security here towards the end, this deep in your own end zone.
Heights with time, fires left side, it's caught. That's Stoller. He makes a move, and he's going to go down around the 32-yard line with 4 seconds left. And it looks like Kenton's going to take a timeout here with 2.4 seconds remaining in this second quarter. Paul, St. Mary's does not do a lot of playing both ways. They have a 2 units, just two platoon for the majority of the time. But one thing they do have is Tester and Spicer deep in this defensive backfield, and they were on the field a lot for the offensive unit. So that could be an advantage for Kenton.
Well, Spicer is an offensive player that's getting some play here on defense based on the matchup. You know, Tester is the one that he's a defensive guy, but because of his playmaking ability, Coach Fry's been utilizing him on offense quite a bit. You know, he's obviously going to be running a lot, but he's a well-conditioned athlete. You know, I don't think that will affect him as much.
Heights will take the snap. Has some time, rolls out to the near side, looking downfield, fires it, and it's caught on the near sideline. Up the near sideline across midfield, and finally wrestled down as he gets to the 45-yard line is Jones. Spicer there with the initial contact to bring him down. And that will take us to halftime. No score here at Skip Bachman Stadium as we go to the locker room. We'll be back with a halftime show next. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Sure, you don't need a set-top box to watch cable, but without one, you're not getting everything your TV has to offer. Add a set-top box from TSC to your television and get more channels. Get a channel guide that tells you all about the shows. Run multiple devices through one universal remote, and you can even add DVR and HD channels. Get everything your TV has to offer with a set-top box. Call TSC and ask for your set-top box today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Halftime here in St. Mary's as we welcome you to the Game Face Ohio halftime report. And normally at this point we would go through the scoring summary, but the defenses in this game, Paul, tonight have taken care of that. No score as the teams are in the locker room right now. And this game really dominated by some good defensive play.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to look at some highlights from the first half, and it's all going to be on the defensive side of the ball. Because defense, as you said, dominated right here. Here early in the first half, St. Mary's getting a little pressure right there. Matt Patton gets the sack on Heights down there, but Kenton playing some defense too. Got a lot of penetration, especially early on right there. That time getting the loss on the play for Kenton. Some more defense here. This time a 4th down stop. Austin Tester on the coverage there on Blackford to get a turnover on downs there on 4th down. Here you see another stop here. This time Trevor Downing getting Spicer stopping short. And then here's the other 4th down stop inside the red zone. Heights rolling to his right, trying to escape. Dylan Leininger right there goes incomplete, and that maintained the 0-0 tie that we still have at time to time.
So both of these teams struggling to get through these two defenses, and what kind of adjustments are they going to have to make to? Let's start with St. Mary's to get the offense moving.
Well, obviously, Coach Fry kind of had things going, in that last possession, but field position has really worked against the Rough Riders. It's tough to have an 80, 90-yard drive against that kind of a defense. They're able to move the ball 50, 60 yards. That should be good enough to get points on the board. So winning field position will be big for them.
Mm-hmm. And for Kenton?
Just finishing. They had 2 different times where they were inside the red zone and got stopped. And that kind of leads us into our next thing, our stats right here. Kenton's been able to pass the ball 100 yards is about their average for the game so far. They were able to get that in a half. Not much of a rushing team. As we know, that's usually, based on sacks.
Mm-hmm.
The Rough Riders cannot be happy with only having 50 for the game. They averaged over 400 yards rushing. Would have to somewhat balanced in their total yards, as you can see there with the stats.
That's really in the time of possession category either, Paul.
Truthfully, that's not one I'm going to look at a whole Rough Riders, just because the style of play, it's always going to be in their favor.
Mm-hmm.
Total amount of plays would be a better stat for this game.
Mm-hmm. Let's take a look at individual statistics as we sit here at the half.
Yeah, we were able to see the passing stats there before from Heights. 65 for 169 yards for Kenton. Receiving, Blackford, our player to watch, has 7 catches for 67 yards, and Stoller has 5 for 50. For the Rough Riders on the ground, Fitzgerald leads the way with 11 carries for 43 yards, Spicer chipping in 19. Receiving, Fitzgerald is 2 catches, Spicer has 1, Czar has 1 catch as well. Powell is 4 for 8 for 49 yards for passing stats for the Rough Riders.
Well, we'll see if which offense will show up here in the second half as we are locked at zeros here at the break. We'll be back with the second half. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
We are state of the art.
We are professional.
Thank you. You're welcome. Have a great day. We are service you can trust.
We are here for you. With custom fabrication, a variety of roofing options, and exceptional roofing knowledge and expertise, Frost Roofing is committed to providing top-notch quality service on every project. To learn more, visit us online at frost-roofing.com and follow us on social media.
TSC can save you money.
How?
TSC can save you money with Emerge.
What's Emerge?
The Emerge bundle plan. TSC will merge your phone, cable TV, and internet into one nice, neat package to save you money.
How much money?
A boatload. The Emerge bundle plan only from TSC.
TSC, give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Back. Back here at Skip Bachman Stadium for the start of the second half. No score. Out of the field and finds some room up to about the 22-yard line.
So, Dan, it's going to be really interesting seeing the adjustment that both coaches have made. Obviously, defensive ruling the days that we talked about before, but at some point, some of these offenses need to crank up, and this Kenton offense definitely has the potential to do so. They do have a long field to be able to make up, but they've been able to move the ball. They just haven't been able to finish.
Heights will come out of the shotgun. 5 receivers set here, 2 to his left and 3 to the near side on the right. They set up one of those screens to the near side, and positive yards up to close to the 30-yard line. That was Luke Jackson on the receiving end of that one.
Yeah, and really the key to those passes working is the other receivers getting blocks, and that time Travis Downing, who's primarily playing mostly on defense, and the receiver that time, made a key block to be able to make that a nice gain.
It's 2nd down and 3 as they lob it out to the far side of the field. This time it's Blackford. He finds some space across the 40, spun around, and goes down as he gets to the 44-yard line. The ball came out there at the end, but they're going to say that he was down.
Yeah, 2 quick, short passes, high percentage, and able to go for some pretty good yardage. And Kenton's off to a really nice start. There you see the nice quick play. Again, you see the receivers nice blocking. Blackford able to kind of lean forward and get a couple of yards after contact.
That was a close one. That ball looked like it did come out a little early. Left side, and not a lot there for Blackford this time. He'll get up to the 47-yard line.
Yeah, and the Rough Riders need to kind of make adjustment there like they did on that play, where you can't continuously throw short. If you start to play up a little bit, they're going to be unable to make those quick screen passes.
Ends up being a 3-yard gain on 1st down. Same formation here. Heights fires it out to the right side. It's caught across midfield and out of bounds inside the 40. On the near side of the field is Connor Jones, and a flag comes down after that play came to an end.
Yeah, and I think they're going to get him for taunting. Jones, with a tremendous play, actually knocked down one of the Rough Riders on his play, and I think I don't know if he said anything or if it was just kind of his emotion, but they're going to call. Well, actually apparently we're going to call it on the Rough Riders, so.
It'll be interesting to take another look at that one.
So we'll see here. Got knocked down. And I guess they're calling that little push there. That's kind of ticky-tack, but that's what the call is. And the Wildcats do have a good drive going here.
1st down ball at the 25-yard line as the Wildcats moving the ball downfield on their first possession of the second half. Here's Heights to keep it himself. He eludes 2 tacklers, and he's going to down the center of the field. He escapes 4 tacklers and gets into the end zone for a touchdown.
Tremendous individual play there for Heights to get the Wildcats into the end zone. Able to, as you mentioned, probably should have been tackled several different times. And, the Rough Riders not wrapping up on that case. So as good of a defense as we saw in the first half, not a good sign of defense on that particular play.
And in Kenton, they don't like to kick the ball, so they line it up.
To their credit, when they give us the starters, they do have a kicker listed, but no, they're going for 2 all the way.
I wonder if he's dressed. Heights fires it left side, and it is incomplete, so the 2-point conversion is no good. And with 10:26 left in this 3rd quarter, the Kenton Wildcats strike first. They lead 6-0, and you're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Where is that TSC bill? How can I pay it if I can't find it?
You don't need the bill. You can pay it online at telcirco.com.
Wasn't there a special this month?
Yes, we got it from TSC's Facebook page.
I know I've got the announcement for the club here somewhere.
I just sent it to TSC to air on Channel 2. With telcirco.com, Facebook, Channel 2, and their newsletter, TSC makes it easy to stay connected.
Now, if they could just help me clean up my desk.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Strength is about so much more than the body. It's about being together, serving, sharing, and caring for those around us. It's about keeping score in the heart rather than on a scoreboard. Be a part of a community that builds more than your body. At the Wapakoneta Family YMCA.
6-0 Kenton as they kick it away. The Rough Riders will have their first possession of the second half, and they'll have pretty good field position to start that possession as that ball up to the 36. So the Rough Riders will have the ball for the first time here in this second half, and they have a touchdown to answer to as the Wildcats put together the first scoring drive of the ball game. It took them 5 plays. They covered 78 yards in 1 minute and 27 seconds and finished it off with a 25-yard run by Heights.
Yeah, and we'll kind of see, you know, Kenton's able to deliver the first offensive punch of the game. We'll see how the Rough Riders react, and pretty nicely with that first play, and as it looked like Tester gets an offensive carry.
So Coach Fry mixing things up in the backfield a little bit. Good carry for Tester on his first touch of the night.
Mentioned, you know, Tester and Spicer was on that state 4x1 team. You know, 2 of the faster guys in the Western Buckeye League.
8 yards on that first down. And so on a second down and 8, it'll be Spicer, and he'll pick up the first down as he gets up to the 45-yard. So Paul, so far, the offenses have owned this second half after the defenses completely controlled the first half.
Well, you know, Kenton, you know, did exactly what Kenton would want them to do, where they got chunk, going 78 yards in 5 plays, you know, capped off by that tremendous scramble by Heights for pay dirt. Obviously a different approach for the Rough Riders. You know, they're going to be a little bit more methodical, and they just want to kind of move the chains, and it doesn't have to be pretty.
And Fitzgerald's going to be stacked up as he takes the handoff here on first down. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage and not much more. So a second down and 10 coming up.
You know, one thing that Kenton does, always going for 2, you know, puts a lot of pressure, you know, on the other teams. But in the case where they don't get it, you know, they put themselves at a slight disadvantage because the Rough Riders could take the lead with just a touchdown and kicking an extra point. And they do have, you know, a solid extra point kicker.
Howell with time passes it over the middle. It's caught by Czar. He'll pick up about 10 yards as he gets knocked off his feet at the 45-yard line on the Kenton side of the field, and they're going to go ahead and move the chains.
You know, I love me the tight end pop pass, and that's the second time we've seen it this game. You know, play action pass, tight end. You know, looks like he's going to pass, but instead just kind of releases just inside the outside backer. And for the second time today, Howell's able to find him over the middle for a good gain for Czar.
And there's a stoppage on the field.
I think there's a problem with the play clock right there. The official want to go ahead and reset the play clock.
Game clock is rolling at 8.5 minutes to play third quarter. Handoff Tester. He gets his second carry of this second half, and he's stuck as he gets up close to the 40-yard line.
Tremendous tackle by Devin McGrath right there. Been very impressed with the tackling ability of the Kenton secondary. Every time they've had an open field opportunity for the Rough Riders, you know, the one-on-one tackle, the Kenton defender has been able to take them down.
After the carry by Tester, a second down and 6 coming up for the Riders as Howell brings the play in from the sideline.
And Tester, kind of a big play guy, had over 100 yards receiving last week for the Rough Riders.
This time the handoff goes to Spicer. He cuts it upfield, and he'll pick up maybe a yard as he falls forward to the 40-yard line. Not a lot there for Spicer.
Now, this is going to be third and a little bit longer than Coach Fry would really like. But, you know, the way that the offense has been going, you know, he's got a lot of different things he could do. You know, the play action has been pretty good for them. Obviously, Coach Fry would prefer to keep the ball on the ground, too. So, you know, this is going to keep the Kenton defense guessing a little bit.
Obringer checks back into the game for the Riders. On this third down and 6, Fitzgerald takes the handoff, bounces off one tackler, and bowls his way forward, falling up to about the 36-yard line as a flag comes down.
Yeah, and Jake Hale, the all-WBL player, was actually fooled on the backfield action on that. He was in a position to tackle Fitzgerald right at the line of scrimmage, but he didn't know he had the football. So Fitzgerald was able to get by him and pick up good yardage, but then tack on what appears to be a face mask call on the Kenton defense.
Second face mask penalty we've seen tonight, one for each team.
There you see, just didn't see had the ball as Hale was looking for somebody else, and Fitzgerald was able to move forward. Just a 5-yard variety on the face mask there, but enough to be able to move the chains.
So first down for the Riders at the 32-yard line. Obringer on the left side there. Spicer will take the handoff going to the right side, and he spins around as he gets down to the 30 and down to the 28-yard line.
The Rough Riders, still trying to obviously loosen things up. Haven't had a ton of success running off tackle, although that's been good to them earlier this year and in previous games. But, you got to dance with the girl that you brought to the dance. So, you still want to, continue to work the run and work the inside, work the outside, and hopefully you're able to kind of break one.
Second down and 7 now for the Riders. Howell with a passing opportunity, rolls out to the right. And he's going to get hit and drop for a loss as that play imploded near the 33-yard line.
A nice physical tackle there by, I haven't said his name for a while, Reichendorfer, the leading tackler, with an aggressive takedown right there. That's actually where you see kind of a difference in rules between high school and college and pros. This is a throwaway in college and pros because you're outside the pocket, no one's open, and you don't want your quarterback to get hit. But that rule hasn't filtered down to the high school level yet.
So St. Mary's now trying to convert on his third down. That pass tipped and nearly caught by Fitzgerald, but a little bit behind him. And he tried to make his second circus catch of the night.
Yeah, and Coleman with the big pressure for Kenton. How hard to get rid of it. I think that Fitzgerald maybe would have been best to just continue to try to run underneath this. Here you can see the hit as he's thrown by Coleman. I think Fitzgerald might have been able to try to continue to run a little bit. That being said, there was some good coverage there, and he's had some success with the one-handers. This brings up a fourth down. The Rough Riders are 1 for 2 on fourth down so far.
And it's just 4 of 11 on third downs tonight, Paul. Howell will have the pass. He gets pressure. It's a screen to Fitzgerald, and it's busted up by that Kenton defense.
Yeah, the senior defensive end, Silas Smith, who's an honorable mention WBL player last year, and he makes a big stop for Kenton on that fourth down. We're able to see it right here. Send up the screen pass to Fitzgerald. And there's blockers there, but he was never fooled. Smith able to make the big play for the Kenton defense, and now they seem to have all the momentum on their side. We'll see if their offense can keep it going.
So another failed fourth down attempt, and we've had a bunch of them in this game. Man in motion across the backfield, and flags come down. And St. Mary's is indicating it's a false start against the Kenton Wildcats.
And, this is a critical drive for the Rough Rider defense, Dan. I'm not sure they can afford to fall down 2 scores. If they're able to kind of, stem the momentum right here by getting a stop against the Kenton offense, they can still have an excellent chance in this ball game.
3 receivers to the left for Kenton, 2 to the near side right. They go to the left, and it's caught, but no gain. In fact, probably a loss on the far side of the field as that one was pulled down by Luke Jackson.
Yeah, Roop right there, and a nice adjustment by the Rough Rider defense in the first possession, or in the previous possession. The first 3-4 plays were all these little screens, bubble screens, quick screens. Well, this time they decide to move the defenders up, and that's going to make it a lot tougher to screen.
So second down and 17 after the 2-yard loss on that pass to Jackson. Now 4 receivers to the right, 1 to the far side of the left. Heights will roll out to the near side, getting some pressure. Lobs it deep down the near sideline where it's slapped away by Spicer near the sideline.
And had Alex Houston, a freshman there on the corner. Excuse me, that wasn't Houston. That was Connor Jones on the corner route right there. And Spicer, playing some extended defensive snaps this time, was able to knock the ball away. And you can see here on the replay, nice job, perfectly timed jump to knock down that pass.
Same formation here on third down. Kenton needs 17 for the first. Heights with time. Now gets some pressure as he takes it up the center of the field. He escapes one tackler and finds his way up to the 40-yard line. He'll be short of the first down, but a nice chunk of yardage there for Heights on the run.
Yeah, shades of his touchdown run. Didn't go for near as far this time. That's where that 5-yard penalty really hurt them because they're going to be about 5-6 yards short of the first down here. And Coach Fackler sending on the punt team.
Reichelderfer up there to kick it away. This is Tristan. He stands at his own 26-yard line.
By the way, he's second in the Western Buckeye League with a 42-yard average coming in, and his earlier kick of 55 will definitely help that.
Line drive kick here will be fielded at the 20-yard line. Fitzgerald has it. He's got some space. Brings it to the near side of the field across the 40 and powers his way up to the 46-yard line. So a tremendous return for Fitzgerald sets up the offense for St. Mary's.
Well, the recipe that the Rough Riders would need to get back in the game happened. They got a 3-and-out, and then they got a nice special teams play with a nice return. And truthfully, the Rough Rider crowd is starting to get into it here a little bit. Nice, as you said, on the bounce, Fitzgerald going to make a lot of plays for him. Nice blocking there as he went up the middle.
And a nifty move right there at the beginning of that run. 26 yards in a return. Here's a handoff to Fitzgerald again, and he fights his way inside Kenton territory to the 44-yard line. Nice run by Isaac Fitzgerald.
Well, sometimes, to borrow something from a different sport in basketball, you want to go to the hot hand. Fitzgerald appears to be a little bit of the hot hand, and Coach Fry's going to ride him here a little bit.
Second down coming up here and about a yard. Powell under center. It's Fitzgerald again, and he'll get the first down as he's down to the 42-yard line.
So we understand there's not a lot of offense here, but I tell you what, this has been a pretty entertaining game. Both crowds brought a lot of people, have been very vocal. This has been a tremendous atmosphere here for a high school football game.
So 3:18 left, third quarter. This is first down and 10 here as Spicer takes the carry off the right side. He will dive forward across the 40 down to the 38-yard line. So a pickup of about 5 on that first down carry, and that's what you're hoping for if you're Coach Fry.
Yeah, as we mentioned before, 4 or 5 yards of carry, they'd love to be able to get that. In Wildcat territory, they've had quite a few possessions in Wildcat territory, have yet to find the end zone though.
Powell brings him to the line. Here's the handoff to Spicer. He goes off the right side, down close to the 36-yard line.
It looks like Spicer just needs one extra block on those outside plays. But, credit Kenton. They've been able to close that off tackle play, to limit Spicer from ever getting that big play that he's capable of.
Third down and 3 coming up for the Riders. Just over 2 minutes to play here, third quarter. Handoff, Spicer goes to the right side, slipped a little bit in the backfield and falls forward. Looks like he got back to the original line of scrimmage, but he lost his footing on that cut upfield, and it brings him a fourth down.
Yeah, and then again, there's no doubt that Coach Fry in this situation is going to go for it. But yeah, unfortunate for the youngster. Tried to make his cut up, and the feet just went out from underneath him. The Kenton defense appeared to be there also, but that's going to set up a fourth down, previously 1 for 3.
Spicer again, this time right side. He finds some space down the sideline, tripped up as he gets inside the 20 to the 16-yard line.
And that's what we're calling for. Coach Fry for the third consecutive play, giving Spicer off that right-hand side. And this time, Spicer able to make the big conversion. Nice hole there. Becker with a nice kick-out block, or a nice hook block right there. Tremendous job by the right side of the Rough Rider line to be able to convert that with a 21-yard carry there by Spicer.
And Trent Reichelderfer, the saving tackle at the end of that play for Kenton. Here's Tester. He gets smacked as he goes off the left side to the 15-yard line.
Really nice play there by Austin Baroker. sophomore. Again, Kenton's got a lot of physical players on the defensive end, a lot of guys that can play and have a lot of WBL experience.
Under a minute to play, third quarter. Riders with an opportunity to tie things up here and take the lead. 3 backs behind Howell, and he is ready to pass it. Fires it over the middle, and it's caught by Czar inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line.
I tell you what, there was not much of a window right there. A lot of confidence by Howell and his big tight end, Quinn Czar, to be able to get it in there because there was a lot of white jerseys around him that time.
Well, he put some mustard on that throw.
I think he needed to as we're running down here late here in the third quarter. The Rough Riders are knocking on the door with their most impressive drive of the night.
Doesn't look like the Riders will make another play here in the third quarter. But Kenton gets on the board in the third quarter to take the lead, and we will go to the final frame with Kenton on top 6-0. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Minster Bank is celebrating 100 years of serving our local communities.
We are proud of our past and we look forward to a promising future.
Thanks for the opportunity to help our local businesses grow.
Thanks for letting us serve you past banking hours.
Thanks for letting us serve you and getting to know you personally.
Through our private wealth management department, we provide trusted investment advice.
Minster Bank's success and longevity is truly a testament to the communities and the customers that we serve.
Thanks for 100.
Back here for the start of the fourth quarter. Final 12 minutes on the clock, and we'll reset this ball game for scoring, obviously. Kenton Wildcats got on the board in their first possession of the second half at the 10:26 mark. They finished off a 5-play, 78-yard drive. It took 1 minute and 27 seconds and ended with a 25-yard run by Heights. It was a pretty impressive run by the quarterback. But right now, St. Mary's set up with a 3rd down and 2 with the ball on the Kenton 7-yard line, and 3rd down has not been good to the St. Mary's Rough Riders tonight.
No, they've only been 4 out of 12 on 3rd down conversions. That's why they've gone for it a lot on 4 downs. Here we see this full house backfield once again for the Rough Riders.
Howell will keep it himself, gets a pretty good push. We'll see where they place this one. And the Rough Riders are indicating a 1st down. We'll see if the officials agree.
The officials are marking it right about the 5-yard line, which would be right about where the sticks were.
Officials looking to the sideline, and it looks like they're going to measure. It'll be a 4th down coming up.
Yeah, not even going to be worthy of a measurement, and I believe Coach Fry would like one, but that's going to set up a 4th and inches. Again, there's 2 out of 4 on 4th down conversions, but this is a really, really big one given the situation. A 6-point game, you're at the 5-yard line. This is your best opportunity right here.
4th down and inches for the Riders. Howell, handoff up the middle, and it looks like they got more than enough.
No.
Fitzgerald carry for the 1st down.
All the way down to the 1, and the timing appeared to be off on that. I wasn't sure exactly what happened right there, but it was definitely just a straight ahead dive play to their big workhorse, Isaac Fitzgerald. Coach Fry giving it to probably his best player. Here we can see it quickly as we're back to live action.
It will be Howell going up the middle behind his line.
And touchdown. So St. Mary's ties it up and has the opportunity to take the lead here with this extra point conversion. The Rough Riders answer back with a tremendous drive, all set up by that 3 and out that the defense got.
So Trogland will be out to try and put the Rough Riders in the lead.
Yeah, the left footer is 10 for 11 on the season on extra points, and this is a big one.
He will kick out of the hold of Fitzgerald. The snap is down, the kick is up, And it is good. And a flag comes down after that kick. And we'll sort that one out when we come back. The Rough Riders take the lead with 11:09 remaining here in this ball game. They lead 7-6, and you're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio. Okay, we'll look at the look at that penalty before we go to break here. It ends up being a personal foul against Kenton. The extra point was good. So the score, as I said, goes to 7-6 in favor of St. Mary's. We'll be back after this. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Owen Kitchen and Bath Showroom has been family owned and operated since 1990. We can help you from start to finish with your entire project. Let one of our professional designers put the final touches on your project. Owen Kitchen and Bath now has 2 showrooms to better serve you in Wapakoneta and Lima. Owen Kitchen and Bath, cabinetry that will take your breath away at prices that won't.
Rough Riders get on the board for the first time here in the fourth quarter. A 10-play, 54-yard drive covering 4 minutes and 38 seconds and ending with a 1-yard plunge by Howell to give them the tie. Trogland on to tack on the extra point, and then during that extra point attempt, a penalty against Kenton. So St. Mary's will kick it off from the Kenton side of the 50.
You know, sometimes I wouldn't put it past Coach Fry to do an onside kick after that, because even if you don't get it, it's not that terrible field position. But you might just have him kicking the ball out of the back of the end zone too.
Well, and Nelson, who puts the foot into it, he's got a good enough foot to kick it into the end zone from his regular starting position. So
a lot of streaks on the line right here. Kenton has won the last 6 in this series and also 15 out of the last 20. So St. Mary's trying to end that streak. But again, St. Mary's also has that 20-game WBL losing streak that started all the way back in week 10 of 2011. Kenton now down 1, and they're looking at 0-3 if they cannot get in the board again.
Heights will bring them out there. High school football on Game Face Ohio is brought to you in part by Frost Roofing, one of the many sponsors bringing our ball game to you tonight. And for some reason, a delay here before the start of this play by Kenton. Officials sorting things out.
So I think there's a problem with the scoreboard. Official was pointing to the scoreboard. Looks to be all kind of fixed now, and we're back to action.
Okay. Heights out of the shotgun as usual. Has time, fires it to the near side. Caught by Blackford. He makes a move, and if he's stacked up at the 30-yard line, close to a first down.
I'll tell you what, Blackford really excels against zone defense. He's been really good at finding the soft spot when the Rough Riders are in that zone defense. Again, I think it's really key for the Rough Rider defense to put pressure on Heights. Again, he had plenty of time right there to get that pass off.
Blackford and Stoller lined up on the near side of the field. You see them on the same side of the field most of the game. 3 receivers on the opposite side for Heights. There's the snap. He has time, fires it down the near sideline, and it's caught by Blackford in stride. He will go across midfield and be knocked out of bounds near the 35-yard line of St. Mary's.
And you just mentioned, most of the time those two are on the left side, Blackford and Stoller, and they kind of mix up with combination routes. Usually one of them's kind of going deeper, one of them goes underneath. That time they elected to go deep and put the ball right between the soft spot with the two deep zone of the Rough Riders.
32-yard completion puts Kenton at the 39-yard line of St. Mary's. Heights will fire
double pass.
Right side. It goes off the hands of his intended receiver, but he is able to get it back and then throw a touchdown strike down the far sideline to Stoller.
Yeah, it's tough to see live down on the field, but up here in the press box, you could see him backing up to ensure that that was a lateral and knew right from the get-go that was going to be a double pass. Kenton getting very aggressive right here and answers the bell quickly and regains the lead.
So Kenton will again go for the 2-point conversion here. Jackson very nearly lost that ball, but good concentration. Got his hands back on it and still threw the strike.
And they're going to call a timeout here. That'll give us a chance to be able to look on replay on that pass, one more time, get a chance to talk about it. A double pass, just because you throw it overhand does not make it a forward pass. The ball actually, as you see, gets thrown back a couple yards and it tails a little bit. Jackson doesn't come clear, but throws the ball very quickly. But luckily for him, it was an absolutely wide open Stoller, no one around him. Sometimes those are the toughest balls to catch, but a tremendous play call, and because of that, the Wildcats have been able to regain the lead very, very quickly.
Critical 2-point conversion coming up here for Kenton. Although if their offense continues to click like this throughout the rest of this ball game, it may not be as critical as it seems right now.
Well, it's still it's obviously critical because if they don't get it, they're a touchdown away from being behind. So if they can pick this up, the Rough Riders more than likely would kick the extra point, and then it's still a tie game. So definitely key here. And Ken's got a lot of different options that they could do. Last week they kind of went to a muddle huddle type look on 2-point conversions. Here they're in their base offense.
3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Heights takes the snap, looking left, under pressure, and he's dropped. Back outside the 10-yard line, so a big stop there for St. Mary's on that 2-point conversion. Will hold the Kenton lead at 12-7.
Yeah, Spencer Nouse with the big sack right there and leads the door open for St. Mary's to still be able to take this game.
Rough Riders will have the ball when we come back. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
3 plays, 80 yards, 1 minute, 2 seconds.
Sure, you don't need a set-top box to watch cable, but without one, you're not getting everything your TV has to offer. Add a set-top box from TSC to your television and get more channels. Get a channel guide that tells you all about the shows. Run multiple devices through one universal remote, and you can even add DVR and HD channels. Get everything your TV has to offer with a set-top box. Call TSC and ask for your set-top box today.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
For over 100 years, the Stolle Insurance Team has been looking out for you.
We have access to major insurance companies all over the country. But together, we can customize an insurance program that will offer you the best coverage for the best premiums.
Let us look out for you. Give us a call for a personalized proposal today.
Proudly featuring Motorist Insurance, Stolle Insurance in Lima, Walpock, Salina, and Lakeview. Representing Motorist Insurance Group and other fine insurance companies. Stolle Insurance.
Kenton put together a 3-play drive covering 80 yards in just over a minute and capped by a 39-yard pass from Jackson to Stoller to take the lead 12-7 with 10:05 remaining in this game. So we'll see how the Rough Riders are able to rebound from that drive by the Wildcats. Mays will bring it out across the 25, find some space and a spin up across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
And so far, this has been a dandy of a game. Totally different personalities from the first half to the second half. should have expected this. These are two of the more tradition-rich and successful teams in the Western Buckeye League. St. Mary's has the most all-time Western Buckeye League championships with 22. Kenton has the third most all-time with 10, but Kenton has really dominated recently as they've won 5 out of the last 6 Western Buckeye League championships.
Rough Riders will come to the line of scrimmage. Howell will be under center. Handoff to Tester. He goes off the left side. Not much there. Up to the 38 on that carry.
And even though it's the fourth quarter, you're not going to see very much panic from St. Mary's. They're kind of right where they need to be. If Coach Fry, if they take a 9-minute drive and are able to finish it off with 6 points, that's enough to give them the ball game, so they'll definitely take that.
High school football and Game Face Ohio is brought to you by the United Way. As Howell brings him to the line of scrimmage with 9:27. And here is Spicer off the right side, gets across the 40 to the 41-yard line. A third down coming up for St. Mary's.
And as we've mentioned, this has kind of been the bane of St. Mary's so far. Only 4 for 13 on third down conversions. It's a little bit longer than they would like with a 3rd and 5. And this Kenton defensive front has been very stingy against the run.
Third down and 5, as Paul mentioned. St. Mary's not real effective on third down. They'd like to change that here. Howell with time. It's tipped to the line of scrimmage and intercepted on the far side of the field. The ball tipped in the air and then collected by Devin McGrath.
And we'll have to check. I think it was Seth Kuhlman, the senior, that tipped the ball up in the air on that, and just a huge turnover, our first turnover of the game, and could not come at a better time for Kenton and at a worse time for the Rough Riders. As we can see here, looking for the play action there on third down. Ball got tipped, and the answer that was Kuhlman that was able to knock the ball up in the air, and just a nice play to be able to turn the ball over here for Kenton.
So Heights will get it back. His pass intended for Stoller incomplete. 2nd down and 10 coming up.
So obviously Kenton, I would expect here to kind of be going for some blood right here and try to get up 2 scores. Obviously keeping the ball up in the air, which has kind of been their motto all night.
Blackford and Stoller wide to the near side. And now all kinds of motion on the Kenton offense there. They had 2 receivers in motion and one of the offensive linemen moved as well. So
yeah, definitely some miscommunication on the count right there. And I think Heights wanted the ball as well. So I do find it interesting, you don't usually see a whole lot where receivers generally kind of move around the formation, but Kenton, kind of keeps most of the receivers on the same side. Stoller and Blackford almost always on the left-hand side, and they might move a couple guys around like Jackson's here on the left, but he's here in the block.
Fires this one out left side. This Heights caught by Blackford across the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll bring up a third down for Kenton.
Yeah, Tester made the nice open field tackle right there. He's kind of been hooked up with one of those 2 guys all night long. He's been working hard, and, it brings up a key third down right here.
3rd down and 5. Heights will have 2 receivers wide to each side. Has some time, fires it left side, and a nice catch by Blackford inside the 20 at the 19-yard line for a first down for Kenton.
They're calling it incomplete, Dan.
Oh.
And, we'll have to see the replay on that. Blackford can't believe it. He thought it was a catch. I thought it was a catch from up here, but, the officials had a better look at it. I don't know if we'll get a replay here before the ball snapped for 4th down or not.
Well, 4th down and 5 coming up for Kenton. They are 1 out of 3. On 4th downs here tonight. Let's take another look at that play.
And the slant's kind of been open most of the night. We'll see, he tried to dive. That might have been a pretty tough call. I didn't see the ball move, but that's what the official's call is, so that's what it is.
So 4th down and 5 now on the 28-yard line. Kenton, as Heights gets pressure, the catch out to Blackford. He shakes off a would-be tackler, and he's going to walk into the end zone for a touchdown.
And I tell you what a play by Kenton, because everything could have went badly for him. Pressure was in his face immediately, and he was able to get the ball out there. And then even though it would have been a first down, Blackburn was able to make sure that he was not going to be taken down in the open field, made a move, and Kenton finds Paydirt again and finally gets that 2-touchdown cushion.
28-yard completion there from Heights to Blackford. And Blackford continues to pad his season stats.
As we mentioned, we talked about him as our player to watch on the pregame show, and he's really delivered with a big-time game so far.
So a 2-point conversion coming up here. Heights fires it out right side, and that one is incomplete, so no good on that 2-point conversion. They have not had a lot of success on the 2-point conversion front. 7:57 remaining in this one, and Kenton has opened up an 18-7 lead. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
TSC can save you money.
How?
TSC can save you money with Emerge.
What's Emerge?
The Emerge bundle plan. TSC will merge your phone, cable TV, and internet in one nice, neat package to save you money.
How much money?
A boatload. The Emerge bundle plan, only from TSC.
TSC, give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Back here at Skip Bachman Stadium, and the Rough Riders on the short end of an 18-7 score. Squib kick here will be fielded by Tester. He'll bring it up the near hash, and he'll be brought down as he gets to the 39-yard line. So a ball game that was scoreless when we went to the half. Now 4 touchdowns here in this second half. The latest one set up by an interception by the Kenton defense. And they put together 4 plays covering 33 yards, including a 28-yard strike from Heights to Blackford to make it a 18-7 Wildcat lead.
And Blackford for the game has 13 catches for 163 yards and a touchdown now. Heights with his first touchdown pass of the game to add to his touchdown run from earlier.
Those are big numbers because Blackford came into this game with only 15 receptions on the season.
But that was good enough for being tied for first in the WBL in reception. So, just the style of offense, he's going to get a lot of catches.
First 2 plays of this possession for St. Mary's, not yielding a lot of yards. That was a 2nd down and 7 play that went for about a yard to Fitzgerald up to the 45-yard line. They'll give him 2 on that carry, so a 3rd down and 5 coming up.
And the Rough Riders desperately need to be able to convert this. Now trailing by 11, and time starting to tick away as we approach the 7-minute mark here in the game.
Powell under center, fakes the handoff. He'll roll out to the near side, looking to throw, and that ball is slapped away from him in the backfield. It's scooped up by Kenton. They're going to call that an incomplete pass. Obviously moving forward.
Yes, and we Austin Phillips, number 76, we did get his number. We had him down for a different number. Was able to make the play on Howe as he was trying to pass, so they're going to call that an incomplete pass. So it disappoints the Kenton crowd here, but I believe that is the right call. He was attempting to pass, his hand was going forward. Still in reality of the situation, it still brings up a 4th down, and if St. Mary's can't convert here, it could be a ball game.
Boy, St. Mary's now 4 of 15 on 3rd downs. They have struggled mightily on 3rd down and 3 of 5 on 4th down.
And on the last 2 3rd downs, they've been able to get their hands on the ball on the quarterback.
Spicer in motion across the backfield. And they hand it off to Fitzgerald. He gets tangled up in the backfield and goes down at the 40-yard line. So the ball will go over to Kenton on downs.
Oh, real tough situation right there for the Rough Riders. Looking to try to be able to pick up the fourth down on the ground and unable to keep his feet. So that turns the ball over here to Kenton, who looks to be firmly in control of this ball game now, Dan.
Well, and they're going to start another possession inside St. Mary's territory. And they will hand it off. Stoller will bring it. He is going to go down the near hash mark and find some space inside the 20 all the way down to the 15-yard line.
That's only the second time we've seen in the back of the backfield, and I believe the first snap of the game was the last time that they did do that. Stoller, as you mentioned, will carry the ball in the backfield from time to time, including if they go to a Wildcat look to do it. But it's just a nice traditional handoff, not seen in these parts of the Wildcat.
Stoller in the backfield again on the left hip of Heights. Heights takes the snap. He lobs it out to Stoller on the left side. It is caught, and he's wrestled out of bounds inside the 15-yard line at about the 12.
They just run a little leak-out flare on that situation there by Stoller, trying to get the ball into the playmaker's hands and make a play. Again, similar to what we talked about, trying to have the hot player make a play, and Kenton, threatening once again.
So second down and 6 for Kenton. They put a man in motion on the far side. Heights with all kinds of time. Now looking upfield, he's going to run it. He's trying to angle for the corner, and he will find the end zone for the second time tonight on the ground.
I think we're seeing Heights make a step forward. The sophomore has made some plays with his arms, but more importantly, when there hasn't been open receivers, he's been able to put the Wildcats on the board with his legs twice.
11-yard scamper that time for Heights, and he has been impressive when he tucks the ball and runs. Another 2-point conversion attempt coming up here for Kenton.
And this is kind of the approach they took against Walpock last week on their 2-point conversions, where they kind of really spread you out.
Heights and Stoller back there. And whistles and play stopped before this play gets started. And they're going to say some motion on Kenton. So false start on Kenton. We'll back them up a little bit. Make this 2-point conversion a little bit more difficult.
More than likely, what Kenton will do then is just go back to their base offense and still go for 2. But considering that this is a 0-0 halftime score, this has kind of been an offensive explosion as Kenton scores their 4th touchdown of the half.
And their 3rd here in the 4th quarter. High snap, Heights with the pitch to Stoller. He's going to find the corner of the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So with 6:18 left in this game, Kenton opening up the lead. And they now have a 26-7 lead over St. Mary's. You're watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
TV everywhere.
TV everywhere?
That's right, everywhere. You can watch TV from your tablet, your phone, your laptop, any mobile device, anywhere you want.
Laundromat?
Yes.
Grocery store?
Yes.
Park?
Yes.
What if I wanted to watch TV at home?
All your favorite networks all the time. It's TV everywhere from TSC.
It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
We are state of the art.
We are professional.
Thank you. You're welcome. Have a great day. We are service you can trust.
We are here for you.
With custom fabrication, a variety of roofing options, and exceptional roofing knowledge and expertise, Frost Roofing is committed to providing top-notch quality service on every project. To learn more, visit us online at frost-roofing.com and follow us on social media.
Heights with the 11-yard scamper for the third touchdown for Kenton here in the fourth quarter. And the 2-point conversion made it a 26-7 Kenton lead. A 3-play, 40-yard drive in just 26 seconds.
And it's hard to believe that, less than 6 minutes of game time ago, St. Mary's had the lead. And Kenton was able to answer with 3 consecutive touchdowns, to take that lead back and potentially kind of, put this game in their firm control.
Fitzgerald will pick up the squib kick and bring it back to the 36-yard line. So St. Mary's will get the ball back with 6:14 left in this one. Football on Game Face Ohio is brought to you in part by Stolly Insurance. And we want to tell you about our upcoming broadcasts. We will be in Wapakoneta next week as Lima Bath comes in on September 19th. That's our feature game. Our bonus game will be St. Mary's at Elida. Howell fires it out, caught by Tester. He can't get away from the initial tackler, and he'll go down at the 40-yard line. Short gain on first down.
And when Coach Fry went to Walpock, he kind of developed this part of the offense. In addition to his traditional wing T, the shotgun offense, which kind of got dubbed the wing and the fling and wing, the wing and fling. Excuse me.
Tester the target on the near side, and it is caught, but he takes a lick as he gets across the 40 to the 41-yard line.
Again, Trevor Downing with the big hit right there, one of the leading tacklers, this Kenton defense. And as I mentioned before, very impressed with the tackling prowess of the defensive backfield of Kenton. Very rarely, do they miss a tackle.
Howell takes the snap and a quick toss out to Mays on the left side, who can't haul it in. And the incompletion will force a 4th down. And the Riders can look back at this game, and their struggles on 3rd down really decided where their offense went tonight.
It did, and a lot of that is because they've been in, instead of the 3rd and short that they really want to be, the 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. It's been 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, and because of that, Coach Fry's been able to had to call some different types of plays.
2 receivers to the left, and Howell will fire it out left side, and a fight over that one. We'll see how they call this one. Tester, and they're going to give it to St. Mary's.
Well, the rule is Kuhlman was in there at the same time. Simultaneous possession does go to the offense, and it's not a percentage. You can't say, well, Kuhlman had 60% of the ball. It was simultaneous, and then the rule says it does go to the offense. Although you could Kuhlman was definitely right there, defensively to make that play.
Well enough for a first down for the Rough Riders. Howell gets some extra blocking, but he's under all kinds of pressure. Escapes to the far side of the field. He's going to run it, and he'll go out of bounds across midfield at the 49-yard line on the Kenton side.
Well, it looked like Howell really wanted to throw it to Mays on the throwback, but it was not there. We're going to look back on that one simultaneous possession play. You can see the ball was passed. Both players, both Tester and Kuhlman, had the ball simultaneously. Kuhlman wrestled it away, but again, in terms of who got the initial possession and then you're down, it goes to the offense then.
2nd down now, and Tester takes the pass in the flats on the near side. He'll pick up first down yardage as he gets inside the 45 to the 43.
Another fine tackle there by a returning starter, Derek Legg, the senior. Again, this Kenton defense, you just got to be impressed, by their physicalness, their toughness, and again, just how if there is a play in space, that one player makes the play.
2 receivers to the left for Howell. And he'll lob it out there to the left side, but that play developed very slowly. And the defense for Kenton, in the person of Ethan Beverly, stopped that one almost immediately.
Yeah, that pass goes to Cameron Swanson. Another primarily defensive player getting in some plays because he's a pretty good athlete, trying to see if he can make a play. Looks like they were really trying to look to see if someone would fall asleep deep, and they had, I believe it was Tester breaking deep. Howell must not have liked that, decided to go to the short pass instead.
Timeout on the field here with Kent on. Take a moment here, Paul, to talk about when these games are available And the feature game, which we're doing tonight, is initially airs at 11 p.m. on the night of the game. So you can be at the game, go home, watch it at 11 o'clock. And then they'll also air approximately 15 times in the week after the game. That's our feature game schedule. Our bonus games are initially aired at 7 p.m. on Sunday following the game. And then they also air approximately 15 times throughout the week. And don't forget that the feature game is also played on Fox Lima at 10 a.m. on Sunday.
And our bonus game this week is Wapakoneta at Elida, which sounds like it's been a pretty good ball game as well. And all of these games eventually are located also on Game Faces Ohio YouTube channel on the web.
Howell pulled that one down and ran it down the far sideline inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. So a third down coming up and about 6 to go for St. Mary's.
And you can see, you can also follow us. We do the social media thing, Facebook and Twitter. Hit us up.
Howell avoids the sack and fires it upfield. It's caught by Fitzgerald. He'll get upended at the 35-yard line. So not a lot there.
And Travis Downing,
fourth down and short coming up.
Travis Downing, another one of the Downing twins, do a tremendous job. Both of them were honorable mention WBL last year. Again, showing you if you're in the open field with a Kenton Wildcat defender, you're probably going to get tackled.
4th and a yard to go here. 3 backs behind Howell under center. And Howell will keep it himself. Not much there on the initial push, but it looked like he fell off to the left side and should have the needed yardage for the first down.
Yeah, they're calling it a first down here. The Rough Riders keep this drive alive with 3:47 left here in the fourth quarter.
Howell out of the shotgun here on first down, and he is going to run it to the left side. Trying to find the corner. He will do that and gets down the sideline before being knocked down inside the 20-yard line, inside the 30-yard line, rather.
You know, Howell hasn't got to the edge a whole lot and had a lot of space. However, you know, he's got a little bit of, athleticism and a burst. You see there, looked like they had the edge on him, and he's able to accelerate up the sidelines and pick up the first down with that 15-yard scamper.
Inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. So first down for the Rough Riders, and this one thrown out to the left side. Fitzgerald will be hit after a good effort down to the 12-yard line. So St. Mary's hustling back up to the line.
Yeah, going no huddle right now. Obviously, nothing being easy. Kenton's not, just going to give them some points. They're going to make them really work.
Howell lobs it out right side, and it's incomplete, intended for Tester. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 3.
Would have been a minimal gain. It only would have been about a 1-yard catch, if so, and the clock would have been running. In the grand scheme of things, not a big deal for an incompletion there for the Rough Riders. They get a chance to kind of catch their breath and be able to, try to convert on a 3rd down. As we've talked about a lot, they're 4 out of 17 now on 3rd down.
Under 3 minutes to play in this one. Howell will work out of the shotgun again. He has Spicer back there with him. Back to pass. Howell fires it to the right side, and it is intercepted in the end zone. Intended for,
I believe it's
Tester over here in the corner, and it was picked off.
Yeah, Travis Downing able to pick off Howell for the 2nd time in this game. Second time for the Kenton defense. First pick off for Downing. And that will pretty much put the game away, as that was the next best opportunity for St. Mary's to put some points on the board.
So Kenton will get the ball back here with just 2 minutes and 43 seconds left in this game. We'll take some time here to thank the guys that help us get on the air tonight. On the cameras, Jim Miller, Justin Orfel, Josh Miller, Luke Catahenry, Cody Voorhees, Dylan Locke. As that play goes nowhere for Kenton, Jordan Minning. Our producer tonight is Todd Utrip, our technical director Adam Dell, and our statistician AJ Lacey. Second down coming up here for Kenton. Wapakoneta YMCA is also one of the proud sponsors of high school football here on Game Face Ohio.
And it's something you don't usually see Kenton do a whole lot, trying to work that play clock. Usually they're trying to snap the ball as soon as they can. This time they're just trying to get that clock to, finish the game and keep
Heights
it going.
with the carry out to the near side, and he's going to get up close to the 30-yard line. He's a pretty effective runner.
Well, coming into the game, and granted, sacks count as rushing yards in high school football. He had minus 33 yards rushing coming into the game. But he has definitely made some big plays with his legs tonight.
Well, Kenton will avoid going to 0-3.
Although, we look back, the last time they lost their first 2 games was back in 2008, so not that long ago. Then they actually did start 0-3, but they won their next 7 to actually share for a tie of the Western Buckeye League that year. As you mentioned, Kenton's really dominated the WBL the last few years. They've won 5 out of the last 6 WBL championships. They've been a dangerous team, making deep runs, state runners-up here recently, last year for the Kenton Wildcats. And we haven't really mentioned, replacing, Coach Mock, who was head coach for, I think, 30 years.
And Coach Fackler, an assistant over there for, 29 years? Is that right?
For 29 years, and looking to get his first career win as a head coach. And, that's got to feel really good for, the longtime Kenton Wildcat coach.
Well, Kenton with that incompletion forced into a punt situation. 4th down and 3. And Paul, just a completely different ball game here in the second half, as the defense is completely dominated in the first half, and we went to the locker room with no score, but Kenton got things started right away offensively in the third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter exploded for 3 touchdowns.
Well, even at the end of 3 quarters, it was 6-0. So, it's not a whole lot of offense 3 quarters of the way through, but truthfully, it's been an entertaining game. Both teams have played really, really hard. Spirited crowds on both sides. So it was a pretty nice night of high school football.
Rough Riders will have the ball again here with 1:37 left, and Howell, under all kinds of pressure, fires it out. It's caught by Fitzgerald, but he's met almost immediately, and he goes down at the 38-yard line.
Sometimes you almost feel like Kent's got more than 11 guys out there, because there are so many people on the quarterback, but yet, after a tremendous play to find Fitzgerald, Reichelderfer was right there to be able to make the play, and prevent that from being a big play.
Howell scrambling to the far side of the field, and he's going to be brought down as he tried to get around the corner, and it's Silas Smith there with the takedown. Under a minute to play now. They'll spot that one at the 34-yard line. So a 3rd down and long coming up for St. Mary's. And this play will be whistled dead here. Looks like St. Mary's may have started early. Well, again, we'll be in Wapakoneta next week, as the Lima Bath will be in town to take on the Redskins. And then the following week, we'll be in Lima to see this St. Mary's team take on that Bath team. So we'll get a double dose of Lima Bath in the next couple of weeks.
And just no chance right there for Howell. Looking for the play action, and the Kenton defense all over him.
Well, after a tremendous start for this Rough Riders team, they've got some questions to answer after these last 2 ball games, as Fitzgerald makes a nice catch over the middle of the field up to the 48-yard line.
Well, and the schedule does say a lot, because Kenton is 0-2. but they're going to be in the mix in the Western Buckeye League. You know, they have a tremendous defense. And that offense, I think, as Heights just gets more playing time and more confidence, will become more and more dangerous. They might be a team that just improves a lot as the season goes on.
Well, that'll be the final play here from Skip Bachman Stadium. Kenton Wildcats come away with a 26-7 win. We'll be back to wrap this one up. You are watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.
Strength is about so much more than the body. It's about being together, serving, sharing, and caring for those around us. It's about keeping score in the heart rather than on a scoreboard. Be a part of a community that builds more than your body. At the Wapakoneta Family YMCA.
TSC can save you money.
How?
TSC can save you money with Emerge.
What's Emerge?
The Emerge bundle plan. TSC will merge your phone, cable TV, and internet in one nice, neat package to save you money.
How much money?
A boatload. The Emerge bundle plan only from TSC.
TSC, give us a call and see. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, call TSC.
Back here in St. Mary's for the Game Face Ohio postgame show. And the St. Mary's Rough Riders fall tonight by a final score of 26-7. As we look at the scoring summary from tonight's ball game, we went to the locker room with no score as two impressive defensive showings in the first half. But the Kenton Wildcats got things started here on this 25-yard run by Trent Heights. The two-point conversion was no good, so the Wildcats took a 6-0 lead at the 10:26 mark in the third quarter. Scoring stopped then until the fourth quarter when Howell dove in from a yard out to get St. Mary's on the board with the 11:09 to play in the game, a 10-play, 54-yard drive covering 4 minutes and 38 seconds. And then this double pass by the Kenton offense to a wide-open Staller, a 3-play, 80-yard drive to give them back the lead at 12-7. Jackson to Staller on a 39-yard touchdown pass. And then from there on, it was Kenton all the way. Here's Blackford on the receiving end of a 28-yard touchdown strike from Heights. His lone touchdown pass of the night. Here's his second touchdown run as Heights scampers 11 yards for the final score of the game. And that took the two-point conversion then to 26-7 in favor of Kenton, and that's where we ended up. So the Kenton Wildcats, slow to start in the first half, but their defense was solid throughout, Paul, and they come out with a big 26-7 lead, win.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I was very impressed with Kenton's defense. You know, they're going to be able to play with everybody in the Western Buckeye League. So forget the 0-2 start. You know, that defense is going to be able to allow them to compete for the Western Buckeye League championship as the season goes on. And that offense is just going to continue to get better and better and better as you have a lot of experienced wide receivers and a sophomore quarterback who's probably going to continue to get better each week.
Well, Paul, let's take a look at stats from this one. And we should be able to look at team stats here.
Well, you can see right here, you know, there's some obvious advantages. You know, running team Rough Riders have the advantage rushing, and Kenton has the advantage passing. But definitely, you know, Coach Fry really would want to be able to be closer to 300 yards per game or higher to be able to, you know, win some of these games. Throwing the ball a little bit better, but still, you know, Kenton with an impressive display. Trent Heights, you know, throws for almost 300 yards. And, you know, two big turnovers for St. Mary's. You know, that one that was after the double pass where the ball was tipped up on that third down play, you know, really spelled doom for the Rough Riders.
And the two turnovers, as you mentioned, the undoing. The Kenton Wildcats undone by a couple of turnovers last week against Wapak, and this time they shoe on the other foot for for Kenton. So let's take a look at individual numbers.
Yeah, we'll just do this quickly. For St. Mary's, Howell passing was 15 for 25 for 109 yards and 2 interceptions. Running the ball, Fitzgerald led the way with 64 yards rushing. Spicer had 58. Receiving, Fitzgerald with 7 catches for 45 yards. Tester had 4 catches for 17. Czar 3 for 27. Over to Kenton's side, Heights 26 for 39 passing for 288 yards and a touchdown. Receiving, Blackford, big game with 13 catches, 163 yards and a touchdown. Stoller, 7 for 93 yards and a touchdown. Jackson had 4 catches. Jones had 3 catches for 52 yards. Rushing, Heights had a big 2 touchdowns, 10 rushes for 49 yards.
All right, it's time now to select our Owen Kitchen and Bath Player of the Game, and I think there's really only one choice in tonight's ball game.
Well, there's actually a little bit of debate because there's a lot of guys that had some, but we're going to go with Trent Heights, because his big scramble right here but put points on the board right from the get-go and had at least 4 Rough Riders, if not more, had opportunities to tackle him and was able to find the end zone. Had another one rushing, had a passing touchdown, and truthfully, he's going to be a real key for them as the season goes on.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Kenton Wildcats played solid defense throughout this game, and their offense came to life in the fourth quarter to push them out to a 26-7 lead. Next week, we'll be in Wapakoneta as the Wapakoneta Redskins will host Lima Bath, and we'll have that ball game for you as our feature contest. St. Mary's will be at Elida, and we'll have that for you as our bonus game next week on Game Face Ohio. I want to thank all of the staff for getting us on the air tonight. I want to thank our statistician, A.J. Lisi. For Paul Sadler, I'm Dan Hirn. Thanks for joining us, everybody. You've been watching high school football on Game Face Ohio.